Yeah, okay.
All right, guys, we know you motherfuckers have been waiting for this one forever. This is the inside the mind of the INTJ. We got David with us today, and we're going to be exploring the mind of an INTJ. And he's an Enneagram 3, so it's going to be interesting to get his perspectives. Yeah, I think you guys can walk away with a lot of great gems from here. Most likely, what we're going to see is how the hero flows into the parent and the other functions as well. That's the key takeaways from this. This will help you understand if you're an INTJ or like, INTJ 3, which most likely looks like an ENTJ, which I think online most people would type LIE, but they're actually INTJ. Okay, so. Let's explore this, man. What's up, David, man? And how'd you get into type?
Yeah, thanks for asking. Yeah, I'm good. I mean, I was always using this type of like 16 types, and then I saw occasionally like the website where people could be type, and I
Mhm.
was typing some anime characters, and in descriptions they always like, yo, this guy has F yeah, and I was like, what does for fucking mean even? And then I saw your video where
Mhm.
Ronaldo's energy. I'm like, what the, like, completely new paradigm because
Mhm.
I could never imagine that Ronaldo, who maybe yes, could be an energy. It's like getting the new laws of physics. Like, it's like how it's even possible that Ronaldo, who like
Mhm.
poor opposite of that. And then I saw the video, like your explanation, like here's an eye all about like willpower, future. I'm like, oh, that's how this thing works. And then I just become watching all the videos, like researching, and yeah. And then I saw that in that way you could understand people, manage best relationships, your friends, and yeah, like I would say very practical for having just a better life.
Mhm. Yeah, 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 dope. So, how do you use NI? Like, how does it come to you? How do you display uses of it? Can you summarize it just in general for yourself?
I think it's just thinking what you're gonna do next, then next, then next. It's like, for example, I know, like, let's say with reading, then I'm thinking, okay, we'll study this subject, like, then we'll study that subject, then that, or like with goals. Well, after achieve this goal, then that thing I get, then I can use that to get this goal. Like, it's more like step by step, like progress into the future. Like, it's like you just see the map that you want to get that, what will happen when you get that, and just endless way, I will say, without end. That's
Yeah.
how I can best summarize how an eye is
Yeah,
working.
yeah, it seems as though you got kind of more the analytical NI there. Uh,
But I would say also an eye is not having a shiny object that like if you choose like a way, it's very hard for you to change this. Like
mhm,
that's what I saw. Like if for me, if I choose to do that, for me to change something else, it's very hard.
mhm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's almost like a dog on a fucking bone or something. They don't let go.
Yeah,
Once
yeah.
they commit to something, a lot of times people get the misconception that like NI and SI are so different, but a lot of times they have a lot of things that are very similar. But there's also two sides of like NI. So like the synthesizing information, you probably don't notice it, but it kind of what you'll notice is like if you watch a movie or a book, you'll be able to synthesize it into like one point, like one keynote or one thing that you'll walk away with. A lot of times, and that's more the synthesizing NI. Um, but it seems as though you're more analytical with yours. But that makes sense being a 3. So tell me about like TE, man. Like, how does it manifest for you? How does it flow for your personality?
I think it's just getting as much information data as just possible. Just getting this information, and while you think or speak, you only have this reference point. It's like for you, like to verify what you're saying make kind of sense. So that you think, okay, if this guy successful said that, then in theory it must make sense. Or like just making research, just getting as much information data as just humanly possible, and then you can just also remember that as well that you want to, that, for example, I want to study like biographies, then you get this information, okay, this was guys this perspective, okay, then this was guys this perspective, then you study another just subject, and you just get as much perspective from different subjects and like people, and then based on situation you can see which information will be more applicable exactly for the situation. Like if you, for example, I don't know, let's say you're an employee and then you could recall information that, hey, if you want to like grow in the company, you need to show that you were reliable, you were loyal, and you get this information. Just you can always recall information for exact situation. Like you don't need to be smart, you just need to know this information and how to recall this at the right moment.
Yeah. Mhm. And Zara, man, how does TE work for you, man?
How does TE work for me?
Yeah.
Um, I'll compilate a lot of data so I could get external references so I can project into the future, essentially.
Yeah.
It's like a large model, and then I could kind of conceptualize it and then synthesize what will happen in the future, essentially.
Yeah.
Um, I guess like a great example of this is like looking at like poly markets or polling data amongst certain age groups and seeing like trends within politics. I other practical examples is like looking at stock information, things like that.
Mhm.
Just general markets, like how what's moving the economy, what's driving it, what's consumer confidence at this point, etc.
Hmm. So how do you guys use TE to like to advance goals?
Well, does David want to go
Yeah,
first?
Dave, you
You,
go first.
you can begin, you can begin.
All right, all right. I guess I try to set timelines for myself. Um, I don't always hit them, but I try to get somewhere near it. And I think that I mean, like I'm in the process of trying to be less perfectionistic. Um, So for me, TE is like I want to see certain metrics at in certain timeline. Like at 25, I want to be at this destination, but I also think about like along the way, I want to keep these things going. I want to be able to be dynamic and be able to be adjust in the moment. But I have to be able to anticipate it. And I think for me, as a broader model, I just tried. That's my lodestar is my goal, but the steps to get there is paramount.
Hmm. So
Um,
that if you guys aren't aware, Zara is a 5 INTJ. So let's see what David has to say about that. How does TE work for you too?
Man, for me, it's just to find someone who achieves thing which you want to achieve and which information does he know, how he achieves this goal, which tools, metrics, knowledge, or books did he use, and what was like biggest principle which he followed so I can get the same goal.
Hmm.
Also, that's how it works. Because if you, I don't know, if you read any biography or like you watch any video of some entrepreneur, they will say, well, it's all about metrics, it's all about data. Then it's all about getting the right processors from yourself, creating the new one, or finding someone who has a better process, pay him, get this. Like, for example, if you want to go gym, just find someone who already in a good shape, who maybe even had same form as you, maybe like with genetics and just ask him advice, just asking from him. Like biggest thing is just the plan which you can follow, and he can be feel like a coach, like Aristotle was like for Alexander the Great, so he can always ask advice, like, hey, what do you think I should do in these instances? And then yeah, you can very easily achieve goal without being some kind of a genius.
Yeah, yeah. Well, guys, how it really works is like
if
they
I
have
may elab if I may
generally.
elaborate,
Oh, you want to go for it?
I do think like real quick.
Go for it.
Yeah, it's great to take models from other people like blueprints. It's a cornerstone. Like when I first started learning about investment, I would learn like what Warren Buffett's strategy was or
Mhm.
who was that? Peter Lynch? Yeah, Peter
Peter
Lynch.
Lynch. Peter Lynch is really
Other
good.
and other big investors. Or if I played basketball, I would look at like how Kobe moved or Kobe's fadeaway to Steph Curry's shooting form, and I would analyze it and
Mhm.
etc.
Yeah. So generally speaking, for an INTJ, it's they get a insight, a vision that they want to go, and then they go and collect the information to make that happen. Generally
Yeah,
speaking, so it's like I want to do X, Y, and Z, and now I got to go out here and collect all this information to allow me to get to X, Y, and Z. So that's generally how you see NITE. But how does FI work for you, David? Should be more repressed, being a 3.
I, to be honest, will never say like, I think, nah, I will never say this.
That's it.
Like, not gonna lie, I don't think my I think my NI is very developed and I like my NI. I think NI is that you try to be as independent as possible. So let's say someone praise you. And in
Hmm.
my head, well, nice feedback, but never like the feeling of getting praise because then your behavior and your thinking will be determined to get more praise, and then you will it's like some kind of having dependency and like betraying yourself, like putting other people opinion above your own. Like you need to be for your own self be judged. Like even if all disagree with you, you should not even be thinking about that. And if you think it's right, it's fine. And the vice versa. If let's say you with friends and they tell you something to do and everyone like give you respect, you still need to know if this is applicable for you. And if not, being disagreeable with them, say no, I will not do this. Or for me, it was some kind of special.
Hmm.
Like also having role models, like people with high integrity, so whom you can also like emulate. Like you can know, like for example, if you take like any kind of biographies, you can always see that great men they were generous, like they want some kind of very greedy, nasty, or like having like inferiority complex, and then for it will be like as a standard which you will keep yourself towards. Like let some say you like with a friend and that yo guys let's go to the bar, but you know that Napoleon was never drunk or like Talleyrand or like Alexander. No, he was, but for example like Augustus, then for you it's like a standard which you always keep upon yourself.
Hmm.
And it's only if you yourself decide to do this, then you do this. It's like not being controlled by external rules, opinions, but by your own self-opinion and self-judge.
Hmm. Zara, how does FI hit for you? It should be like usually fives usually have pretty ridiculously FI standards.
Yeah. I think it's more about like for me, I want something that will gratify me and and that is that brings me joy. Like that's part of the process for me. Like without the joy that there's no point in the pursuit
Hmm.
of that vision.
Hmm.
Like I think that to some extent I think it's important for me to have to stick to my principles and
Hmm.
to what I value.
Hmm.
Um, and I think it makes me a happier person, and it also makes me. I think it helps me just in throughout life, like, and I hold myself to a high standard, um, and I think that um, personally, my I guess I don't really want to use the nomenclature. But I do think it's like yeah, I want to value myself and what I do and I believe that bleeds into my passions and I think that um I think it's also about like creating values to some extent as like Nietzsche would say. Um and I think those are the pillars like you that there is a bridge that lives beyond yourself, you
Hmm.
know.
Yeah. Yeah, I think usually the FI comes in a way that like they can be very rigid. Like I could think of Thomas. Thomas, like his FI, like he is ready to like tell somebody like this piece of shit motherfucker or something. Like
Yeah.
yeah, he's very
Oh, I get like oh God, I get like that.
yeah, like
In
they
private,
seems to be
I
like the
try to
fives
control it. I
seems
try
to
to
be
control it
like
in pro.
on a like a FI high horse, right? There's
Uh-huh.
like a FI high horse where they just like this person's such a terrible piece of shit motherfucker, like goddamn, like or something like that. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
But I think generally speaking, it's a way for the NI to make them be attached to it, congruency through authenticity. So it will allow them to be authentic to their vision that they want to become or the person they're transforming themselves into, generally
Hmm.
speaking. So the FI can be there, but it also has like, their values and stuff like that. Quite a bit. They can, especially some of the INTJ women, they could be super liberal with that shit, boy. Super liberal with that shit and up people's ass. So how does SC inferior manifest for you, David?
I think it's sometimes not a actions you need to take like immediately. You try maybe to overplan or like like to find a shortcut, not to do what you need to know, like just using the brute force. So that you try to be smarter than necessary, like than is demanded of you. Sometimes you just need to like take brute force, just do what you need without like or like thinking or trying to find some kind of a shortcut with your intellect, like with
Yeah,
an eye, like finding like the shortcut.
yeah.
Yeah, that's how I'll say that. Sometimes you just need to take brute force, and before it was hard, and now it's far easier.
Yeah, like INTJs will build this fucking mental model calculator to not open their fucking door. It's like, bro, just open the fucking door, you know?
Yeah.
That's how I kind of see it a lot of times. They'll do all this like strategizing to like avoid the minimalistic SE required.
Yeah, 100%. Like they're very lazy.
Yeah, yeah. Or they get this kind of like this flashing in the back of their head, like when it comes to something SE related, like oh fuck, like I'm gonna get exposed. Like if you a great example is Lay Luch and Code Geass. If you see he
Yeah.
goes running and shit, he's like fuck SE, you know, and everybody else is like passing him by, but he's like fuck, you know. Anything SE related, like they kind of want somebody else to do the SE for them, and then let them pretty much plan.
Yeah, it was like with like Talleyrand, like you know him. He didn't even write letters himself. He had like seven assistants who will write letters. They just everything. They will even bring for him letters, so he will read like that, and then will just later decide what to do with that.
Yeah, yeah, they can. Zara, how does it for you, man? Can you put it in better words or?
Um, okay. I think for me, um, I think like uh doing like new activities stresses me out a bit. I never
I'm just laughing because it's funny, man.
but
Like,
I mean like
yeah,
I think it was even a bigger problem when I was younger. I mean,
yeah,
I'm a bit myopic. Like I like doing certain things and that's it. Like I mean I've recently started picking up more hobbies. I
hmm,
mean like just trying to build new connections and so I could synthesize them and you see how things are more interconnected over time.
yeah,
Before I was like, I only want this, so why do I need to learn that? Like,
hmm,
screw it. I think also it's kind of what he David alluded to. You know, I think like I want to outsource like the action to other people,
hmm,
but I'm great at the strategizing. I can be in the back room and I could devise a brilliant plan. Like and I think I could build a scaffolding, but the problem is like actually doing it and being in the moment and having the tact and like thinking about how to maximize is it can be problematic. Like I and seeing the opportunities like just recently I went to like a some country club and there's all these people meeting around and I'm just like I don't know how to talk to these people. I go to the woman that invited me, I just asked her like, what would you do? And then she just gave me like a simple one-liner. And I'm like, how did I not think of this? I'm just like so stuck in the moment thinking, wow, I don't know what to say to these people. I don't know how to make these connections. And then it was just as simple as like saying, "Oh, I'm just a guest here and whatever and blah blah
hmm.
blah."
Yeah.
Just
I
talking.
I think a lot of times you'll see a lot of INTJs drink because drinking eases up the SE inferior. It allows them to get out of like that NI mindset into like more enjoying themselves. So you'll see a lot of them drink a lot to like,
Hmm.
especially in social situations, they'll drink enough to like, you know, enough to get that NI off them so that they can be in the moment. And you know, but yeah, I think generally speaking, SE Inferior they got this red flag when it comes to any type of physical shit that needs to be done. It's like fuck, you know, unless they practice on it quite a bit and they are well attuned to what they need to do, right?
Yeah.
But if it's like something new, oh, it's like fuck, oh shit, oh fuck me, you know. They're gonna lag behind the group, especially when it comes to like a physical thing. Like let's say for instance, you were to take David and Zara to a new sport, right? The processing speed for the SE is gonna lag, so they're gonna have to do like
Okay,
their
so
own. They're gonna have to do their own individual training behind the scenes to catch up with the rest of the people. Um,
yeah, but I will say still Eintracht was are very talented. Like I was talented in like taekwondo, like football. Like I will say they just lazy, but Eintracht are very talented because of cognition. So if we like take them some kind of football player, sure, like some years we will be stronger than them physically, 100%. But Eintracht can be more talented and they just can play smart, like same with box or like swimming. Like well, like they can learn the best technique, like best strategies how to actually play sports. They just need to like the problem with Einstein, I think, is that they were a talent, but their physical capability are very low. But if they improve that one, then they just become prodigy.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because their brain thinks about like how to do things the simplest, easiest way. So, while if they're building up their SE and then thinking like that the same way, then they like naturally beat a lot of people who don't think. But yeah. How's NI opposing, man? Like, I mean,
Any opposing?
any opposing.
Ruling against the vision, I guess. Like I think it's more seeing other ways like your plan can go wrong. And
Mhm,
I guess as you've alluded to many times, it's a source of insecurity a little, but also I also am able to delve and explore different ideas
mhm,
more fluidly because of it, because it just gives me more connections to build um to my framework. Um and I think it's good because your models get outdated, or your ideas of the world and your conceptualizations aren't 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 always um there aren't always aligned with reality, right? So it's important to kind of be able to have to be a little fluid
mhm.
and adaptable.
Yeah. What about you,
Yeah.
David?
Well, is and yeah, also was it like being anxious about other people's intentions?
Somewhat, yes.
Yeah, like I just get some random thought like how someone want to
Mm,
trick me. Like for example, when I was going from the school. And I saw my dad like car not there. And then I got idea, oh okay, fine. Then I was thinking maybe he called my mom to tell her, yo, check his like bag, maybe he skips the school. So then I will come as fast as possible to home, will take my like bag with me. Or for example, my friend like John, he was saying like mysticism, like there's some crazy shit.
mm.
And he's and
I
then he's
hate that shit, bro. I don't know what it is with any
I spent
girl.
2 months studying
Like,
this shit. It was
bro,
dumbest
with
time
that
I've ever
mysticism
spent.
and Gnosticism shit, bro. I don't know what it is with
But
them. They drive me crazy with that shit.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah.
like I read a book like 1,000 pages. It's like it's in Russian, but it's like also on like on English. It's called Secret Teachings of All Ages. Like he's like some fucking crazy pictures. Like I don't know. And I just spent like 2 weeks reading that shit. Like that Shakespeare was not the Shakespeare, etc. And like some crazy shit.
Mm.
Like was most useless time I've ever spent in my life. Like not
Like,
gonna lie.
bro, I swear I don't know what it is with them, but they always bring me that shit, and I'm just like, bro, I'm just not interested, bro. Like, just take that shit somewhere else, man.
Well, but I got just one idea. Like, it says that all religion is teachings of all civilizations about biology, and because people are very dumb, they don't understand facts. They put this knowledge and wisdom in stories so people understand it better. Like,
Mhm.
all religion was created based on that. Like, because he like this guy also was INTJ, I guess, and he spent his whole life studying the chess. Like, and yeah, and he like right, yeah, like it's called allegory. Like it's like when lessons are put into like story so people understand it better, like not fact. Because everyone will forget the facts, but nobody like forget the story.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, and the second was that yeah, philosophy very important. Yeah, but
Yeah.
and for example, his brother like wrote him, what is the guys called who first came to the earth? And I was on the call with him. I said to him, bro, don't reply him. He's probably with his friends, and he want to show them that he got just some kind of autistic, like or
Mm.
some kind of autism. Like that's kind of and yes that I get always like some kind of just random thoughts that someone want to betray me, trick me, etc.
Well, I think a big thing with any opposing is that in chaotic situations, it's like a noise just starts to come up and you can't think clearly. In chaotic situations, it's like you also see that like over the course of time, there'll be like this alarm that goes off for INTJs that, okay, I'm committed to this one thing, but let me check a couple possibilities to make sure
Yeah,
there's
that's
Yeah.
right, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's that thing that it's like in the back of their head, they kind of bump their head a couple times where they like jumped on one thing, and now they got this any paranoia, like wait, let me, wait for the facts to come out before I jump on it, or let me look over here
Yeah.
and here before I jump on something.
Yeah.
That's what you'll see like over time. Or like if they're planning for like I think Kobe Bryant said it the best way. Like whenever he practiced for anything to happen. So he
Yeah.
used any to make himself ready for any situation, right? Because he doesn't have the SE that Michael Jordan has, right? So what he did was he prepared and practiced for the craziest things
Yeah.
that ever happened, so that when those moments happen, it just like he just going through the motion, and
Yeah.
that's the reason why he was training 4 times a day, you know.
Yeah, I build a bunch
Um,
of contingency plans.
yeah. So
Just
he has a whole bunch of
imagining
like
different scenarios.
any to like make sure that they're ready for
Yeah.
the moment. You'll see it that way as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what about TI Critic, man?
Ooh, boy. Um, uh, I mean, I think like it just I mean a lot of people find it like I'm just badgering them with it, but a lot of times it's just that, you say something that's inconsistent and doesn't make sense. You know, I have to call you on it. It's imperative. Like I'm not gonna let you
It's
fall off a cliff.
imperative.
Like it's not my fault you're being stupid. It's just not.
Like,
And and besides that, it's like if your framework is completely flawed, you're gonna take this other places and you're gonna make a fool of yourself. And I'm just stopping it before it happens.
I think it's like for some reason I've been hypothesizing that the critic has some of the hero in it. It's like, well, if I don't stop this
Hmm.
stupid shit now, in the future they're gonna keep saying stupid shit.
Yes.
Or it's like this
Yeah.
NITI.
Yeah, it's like
Um,
your philosophy sucks.
yeah.
It's
What about
more
you, David?
simply. And I
I
think
yeah,
go on.
go
Finish
on.
though. Finish though.
Yeah.
Well, okay, but yeah, also I use TI just to break down concepts as well. Like I also use it just in a general sense, not just in this didactic sense of pedantry towards other people.
Hmm. Yeah. What about you, for David?
I mean, it's more like I'm critical more towards my own thinking that of thought I really much I still think that I have flaws and I need to improve them, like over like this progression. And just thinking sometimes that I'm dumb or thought if there will be like a stimul, then your thinking will like recall all the information you need. And in terms of like reasoning as the people logic, it's more like as Munger said, like I can teach someone who already knows everything. Like for example, you can speak with a guy who knows this topology very well. You can
Mhm.
give him like in 2 minutes, like if he's let's say INTJ, you can give him in 2 minutes great advices. Same will be INTJ who doesn't know shit. You need to explain him like literally 5 hours some like foundations. And I think same is here. Like someone like the thought he said, which for example Zara think is very stupid. It was created years of stupid thought, and it's like a building where you check the last like 100 like
Hmm.
floor, and you're like, oh my God, what the fuck? But the another 91 also like very stupid and was built like a kind of crap, and you don't want to spend your life just fixing that breaks of other people. Just fix your own first, and yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I find it funny because Kyle's dad's an INTJ, and like he'll like Kyle will like call me, was like, man, Scott, and they're like, why is everybody so fucking stupid? Well, I guess if they were smart, then they wouldn't be working for me. So it's like kind of funny sometimes. He's like, yeah, these fucking stupid. He's like, I gotta do everything. They're so fucking stupid. It's just funny to see it. A
Yeah.
lot of times it'll be like when someone says something that's not congruent, it's like they'll like pick right into that hole where there's a big hole. Um, so you'll see them get really annoyed with ENTP sometimes,
Yeah.
because of like the way that they go through their logical deductions and like draw the conclusions. It
Yeah.
can pretty much set off a INTJ almost every time, right? Uh, I think
I think
INTP.
they're smarter than ENTP. Like ENTP maybe have better process of information, but they have far less input.
Well, I think what it is with them is that their TI is actually good, but they're just fucking lazy.
Yeah.
They are
Yeah.
just fucking lazy. Like if they just read or did the work to like actually build a certain like principles and stuff, they would
Mhm.
get to the right conclusion. But since they're allergic to fucking reading and they're allergic to like actually sitting down and actually going through something, they just want a quick fast, that they end up like drawing some wild ass conclusion. And you're like, bro, what the fuck is that? Um, but
Yeah. I
that
just
that's
have
what I've
big.
noticed because if I sit down and I go and I walk through something with Henley, his TI is really good, and they whole branch many things into that. But I gotta make sure through the steps that he don't draw nothing's crazy in there, you know. But their TI is really good, and I think a lot of times the critic is working for the parent, right? So it's like, okay, I'm gonna criticize you, so then that you ask me what do I think, and then I give you my TE parent good information, right? But it also makes the INTJ very thorough with their own thinking,
Yeah.
um,
It's like
accumulating all
Taya
this
like
information.
criticize them and T and like it's like Taya like feels it's good, but then he get again critic, so he'll again try to get good information, good knowledge, insight, etc. Because Taya like it doesn't matter how strong Taya is, Taya will also get stronger, so he still will be very critical with Taya still like.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I think yeah. Is there anything else you want to say about that?
I think like the thing is they draw it their N is like is like scattered points, right? There's connections and they're drawing the dots and
Mhm.
they fill it in. But the problem is there's no synthesis within the process. So what happens is that their logical framework isn't aiding in their reasoning. And so I guess the difference between INTPs and INTJs, I just kind of formed this insight. It's essentially that I'm trying to synthesize towards a point through reason, through deduction and reason and data,
Mhm.
and then I'm trying to build a framework from it.
Mhm.
And whereas their metamorphosis is just drawing connections and then trying to
See what
and
merges.
then see what happens.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they're rolling dice with life. And I think as the inferior in me is always putting on the brakes
Mhm.
on just doing. So
Yeah,
then it makes you look lazier. But at the same time, my thinking is a lot more crystallized
yeah.
through
Well,
that process.
I will say the INTJs don't mind reading, right?
Mhm.
And TE is very centric, right? So like it's generally, pretty centric, while TI is eccentric, like it's kind of different. It's very different from person to person, from place
Yeah.
to place, like all this type of shit. While TE is like it's gathered through experts and science and all of that shit. So it's more centric. So you'll notice that these people don't have like that far ranges of difference in thinking. While like TI is like, bro, they could either be up here or it could be fucking down there in the fucking trash, okay? But that is their framework. So yeah. I do
Well,
think they bring like something new here and there. But
it's kind of like the difference between Richard Feynman and who's that guy that played in Iron Man?
Tony Stark.
Terrence Howard.
oh, Terrence Howard.
Yeah. It's the difference between those two.
Terrence Howard is something else, boy.
Yeah. It's the difference between Richard Feynman and him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
pretty it's pretty stark.
yeah. And it might be an IQ thing too, though. It might be
Yeah,
an IQ thing.
that's true. Just
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
being a little facetious,
Yeah, it's funny as fuck. But
being a little cheeky.
Terrence Howard needs to go on the channel. It's funny as fuck. It's so funny.
Yeah.
I've seen him on database and people think he's TI Trickster. I'm like, bro is using his own framework, bro. He's not using somebody else's framework. That is all him. Auto
Well,
dodging
he it
people.
looks that bad.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah. So how does FE Trickster manifest for you guys? Because I think a lot of people don't notice that there's like two kind of variants of the trickster. There is like if an INTJ is super smart, then they kind of just miss the social cues of life. And then there's the INTJ who's kind of bubble headed, and they kind of use FE trickster on other people to get what they want. But how does it work for you guys?
uh, I guess the social cues.
Yeah, in the high
I'm a
TI and
little
TE.
blind to it at times. Um, I try to correct it. I mean, it's not something I want for myself. I don't I don't aspire to live in my trickster. Um,
Hmm.
I who wants to be the brunt of jokes and be the guy with a bunch of social faux pas? I mean, it's not fun.
Yeah.
It's just I don't really have a lot to add on that.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you, David? How does FE Trickster manifest?
I would say if like if I'm like in a group of people like there's more than 4 or 5 guys, then I'm just quiet, just don't speak much because don't have like preference, and when it's just one-on-one, then I'm just more like social, etc. Like you can just read books and then you can learn a lot of social skills
TE.
and yeah, like like you can see that people who are at least good at it, they just get far more advanced people who were very better social
Hmm.
skills, I will say. And the second, I think, if fear blinds, it's just not even having thoughts what this group of people will think about me. Like not even getting this thought. Like it's just not even exists in my mind. Just for example, I know you was like with your friends, you go home and you don't even think, well, what did they guys think about me? How did they feel about me? It just not even like this some kind of thoughts. They just not even arrive in my mind. That's how I will say how I feel like yeah, tricks are like
Yeah.
manifest.
Or I'll say some really insensitive thing, and then later it really hits me. That's what happens.
Yeah, yeah,
Like a train.
yeah. I think the big takeaway from it is the SE and the FE, right? Some INTJs can train well, so they can kind of cover up the FE and how bad they are with FE. But if you get them in the moment, you will notice that they blunder with FE, right? If you get them in the moment,
Yeah.
you will notice that they just blunder FE all day long, right? If they got
Yeah.
time to think about stuff, they do
Mhm.
pretty well. But if it's in the moment, then they need to make a decision, FE related, they're gonna blunder it. Blunder, blunder, blunder. I think a lot of times they can say things that are like very harsh to people,
Yeah.
with no tact, struggle to understand how to put tact on words. They just say it.
Yeah.
They'll just hit the elephant in the room, and then everybody else like, bro, you can't say that. Like, why can't I say that? Or like they think, generally speaking, social values of the group is kind of stupid, or don't apply to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll see that.
Well,
I
I
think I
think
I think the herd kind of bleeds into blind conformity. That's the issue with FE.
I think it's like if yeah is like I ended up bad from this from the very beginning, and the problem is because they don't study psychology and they don't read books or like biographies, then they can't even get information where they're wrong. Like for example, if you read like books of Robin Greene, then like you'll be very good with FA. Like no way, if you read all of his books, you'll really think, reflect. Like no way you'll be bad. But for example, in this
Yeah.
book was never called that if you like because I was in like my security thing just to check on my number, and there was like 4 people, and I was calling like with a friend, and then later when I was done, he asked me where did I was. Then I said, hey, yeah, I was by security attention to get my number. He's like, bro, what the fuck? You can't speak when there's like 4 people who can just wait for their place. I'm like, bro, like why will they care? Like why is he wrong? They can just mind their own business.
Hmm.
So I think it's just if INTJ gets the data, hey, if you will say like if you will embarrass someone in public, then you will get for the like critic. If you get this data, I don't think he will do this mistake because he's smart, like from cognition base.
Hmm. Yeah. So I mean that's generally how the FE Trickster manifests for INTJs that are very strong in TI and TE. The ones that use FI child, they kind of use FE to manipulate. You'll see them butter people up with FI. Oh, you're my favorite person. Da 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 da.
Oh, oh, I've done
And
that.
Yeah,
really, they don't give a fuck about you. I think a
yeah,
lot of people think they're closer to INTJs than they really are, because FI child can put on the front that you actually are valuable to them, but in reality, they will, you know, next up,
yeah.
next up
Yeah,
I would
mentality.
sometimes.
say FI people are very good actors and if you're very good manipulators. And FI like because you know yourself very well, you know how you move, how you act, then you can control your behavior far more better to get what you want. And how other people will think about you if you genuinely want to get something out of them.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think a
Yeah,
lot of people in the type community don't understand that, but the trickster can be used to get you what you want in certain situations. It
yeah.
can put people in a lose-lose situation, a double bind or whatnot. So it's kind of interesting. Sometimes you see INTJ women fucking use that shit. Holy fuck, they use the fuck out of that shit. So obnoxious. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, Effie Trickster. Um,
Hmm.
but how's SI Demon for you guys?
Since just past doesn't exist, like you never even like you rarely think about that. Like when I meet my old classmate, I don't even say hi to them. Like past just don't exist. Like I can think about past sometimes you get some kind of reflection, some lessons, but beside like you live your life without having some kind of attachment to your past, and second not even thinking or valuing a lot. That's how, like you only think about present and future, like not the past.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. What about you, Zara? Anything you want to add to that?
Um, I'm more. I just don't value the traditions as much. It's not that I don't ever think about the past um or remember things about it, but I don't I don't particularly focus on it.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
mainly I'm I mainly find it dead.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of INTJs, they don't really want to talk about the past that much or their past experiences. Sometimes they can like have a negative outlook on things that they've experienced in the past, and they'll be very selective with the words they use or the information they give you when it becomes to past information. Like if the INTJ is giving you past information, just know they cherry picking what they want to give you.
Yeah,
They're
for
literally
sure.
cherry picking what the fuck they
I'm
want to give
pruning
you.
it. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
I also think that with the INTJ, sometimes they can be so forced on the future or their vision that they don't
Hmm.
take care of their actual SI body, and they just keep pushing that body and keep pushing it, and then you see the INTJ villain trying to take over people's bodies, right?
Hmm.
Because their NI has consumed their body. Like a good one is Palpatine, right? You see how frail and fucked up he is, because at this point he's just vision. He's just
Who's
vision.
that? Who's that INTJ guy? The dude that wants to live forever? The Brian
Brad
Johnson, I think is
Johnson or
his name.
some shit with
Yeah, Brian
Johnson.
Johnson, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's a nut. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think like for me, I sometimes will, yeah, like you were just saying, like now that you brought it up, yeah, I don't sometimes I won't even recognize if it's hot or if I'm even hungry
Yeah.
until like someone brings it up, like you haven't eaten all day or
Hmm.
have you eaten all at all?
Or their
Like
bodies just start shaking or some shit, and like, fuck, I got
yeah,
food in there. Um,
yeah,
Like you forget
essentially.
about that. Like you get this impulse, then you forget about it again, then you again
Yeah,
was behind that.
yeah. I
yeah.
think it's like I try to challenge myself beyond beyond hunger or something. Like there's always an internal drive to get something done
Hmm.
first.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So you're so focused on what you're doing that
yeah.
like, you're not noticing like your body needs and shit like that.
Yeah.
That shit adds up over time. It's like
Yeah,
candle.
I've been more conscientious about it. I've been trying to be more mindful of that,
Yeah,
especially know having the knowledge about typology.
yeah. So it's like life's like a candle, guys, and
Yeah.
INTJs can really burn the fuck out of that flame and just and check out of here real soon, because they're chasing that vision so hard, or they'll get the vision, but they won't be able to enjoy it really. Um,
I
so.
mean, life is the tightrope dancer though, right? I mean, even if you fall, it's still it like the journey is what matters most.
And I think like people like I think a lot of times INTJs are late bloomers, so they get to
Uh-huh.
things later in life. So like later on, like Putin don't want to die, but he's like what, like 70s, in the 70s. Putin don't want to get out of here. I don't think Xi wants to get out of here either, I
No.
wouldn't be surprised if they got some type of fucking lab where they're trying to clone themselves or some crazy shit.
Supposedly he was soaking himself in like I think it was elk blood or something.
I don't know. I know,
He
INTJ,
was doing
like I
some.
said,
I heard rumors that Putin was doing something like that.
I wouldn't be fucking surprised, bro.
I know that he started the war and he like with this like intro he says that in his free time he like to study greatest kings of Russia, so he wanted this war, so his name will also be remembered for like next generations.
Oh,
Yeah,
I think he
it's
gonna
it.
remember for fucking this one up because that shit is not going what he thought.
Yeah, but
In his
he's very
NI
religious
vision, he
on
thought it would be
bringing
easy.
back the old Soviet glory.
Yeah, he's just I think he's
Yeah,
just
he
typical
wants to
INTJ.
restore it. Yeah.
Typical INTJ, he did a blunder. He
Hmm.
had a vision for taking over Ukraine that he thought was going to be super quick and fast, but SC escaped him. Like, bro,
Yeah.
and now you fucking up. And I guarantee you, he's looking for any way to get the fuck out of there. So, but he's got to be able to save his face.
Yeah.
It's important for him to save his face. So he's gonna do anything he can to save his fucking face because he's lost a shitload of Russian lives and they basically have done nothing. And they lost a lot of resources and they got all these sanctions put on them and all this other shit. So he's got to come away with something. Okay, he's got to save that face.
I
Um,
mean, the only thing that's I mean, like at this point, like the world order is kind of is on the precipice of changing with the BRICS system, like especially with China, Brazil, Russia, and India, and a couple other countries being involved in that. It does put some pressure against the dollar. So I mean, I do kind of foresee like that being an issue for the United States eventually, and
mhm,
our global standing. But
mhm.
yeah, I think that was a huge
Blunder.
that was a huge blunder, and it was a strategic mishap of unprecedented magnitudes.
Yeah, yeah. So guys, question: what do you think you could find INTJs if people were looking for them?
Huh,
What was the
what's the question?
question?
What do you think people can find INTJs if they were looking for them?
You mean to learn from them, or what is the goal? Like,
Like they're trying to meet them. Like let's say they're people are trying to meet INTJs. Where will they find them?
oh, that question. Depends on age of INTJ. Like let's say you mean guys in 20s or 30s or like,
Just in general, what do you think? Just give me what you think.
well, if you think about guys who like in their 20s, it's probably how to make money online, like 1% there, like 100%. I mean, about intellectual stuff, oh, I don't know, like also like Discords,
Hmm.
because I want to show like the FI. So, yo guys, I'm a INTJ, which is like give status. Well, yeah, I think probably most, yeah, these two like make money online, and second, yeah, typology, and maybe, yeah, I think these two.
Yeah. What about you, Zar? Any places you think INTJs would be?
Probably I don't maybe a library. I could even I mean, yeah, where
I don't
else?
think they will waste time go to library.
Like business, like business forums, like networking,
Hmm.
probably,
I would
maybe.
I would say chess.
Yeah,
Any
yeah, just
chess
yeah,
tournament, there's gonna be a lot of INTJs. I think if
yeah,
you're playing
yeah,
like card games like Magic the Gathering or like Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff like
yeah,
that, you're gonna see a lot of INTJs there. I think coaches, there's a lot of like coaches
yeah,
end up being INTJs. Also anyone who you perceive to be the best at something,
yeah,
that's generally speaking might be an INTJ for you.
yeah.
Right? Um,
Would I'm trying to think. I think that they would also. I mean, like this sounds strange, but I think a lot of them like golf
yeah,
more than people
golf.
would. Yeah,
Chess, like
yeah,
anything where there's like a lot of brain power and minimal SE.
yes.
And guys, what do you think people misunderstand about INTJs?
What it's a that's a difficult question.
I think people think the like OP, like like character in the game, like the most stronger, but not like it is, but only some like people see like top INTJs like with natural selection,
Hmm.
who are like literally the best, like from history, etc. And then they assume like all INTJs are like that because they're an INTJ.
That's what
Miss
I be saying.
they miss like which I had because you think well he's cool like that because he's an INTJ, but the fact is he's INTJ, but he improved himself to be like that.
Mhm.
hmm,
And I think it's same like with the integers as well, like because if like with just basic picture, like even by this website, like 16 types, you see, oh my God, like they're so cool, but reality, only few of them, and even then it's because they were above average at least than other integers. And second, they just develop themselves. They were mature, like higher self-awareness, higher cognition base.
Mhm.
And most INTJs, like guys who have like normal goals, like goals where they attach to it, like some kind of weird FI, laziness because of ICA, and some kind of TA, like with a little bit of data.
Yeah,
hmm.
yeah,
Okay, I got two things. So I think one thing is like kind of what David alluded to, like most INTJs aren't that developed. Um they don't look like strategic masterminds. And number two, I think INTJs are a lot more emotional than people give them credit for.
yeah. The FI
Uh,
channel can really be something. Yeah,
yeah.
I think
I think
one.
those two
All
are
types emotional. Like tell to the integer, like bro, your suite is so bad, like oh yeah, 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 just will be sad, etc.
I think the big thing is that they're very varying in their manifestation. That's what I think. Like you
yeah.
get ones that's like Zara, then you get ones that's like David, then you get ones like Taylor Swift, then you get ones like Arnold Schwarzenegger, then you get ones like 50 Cent, then you'll get ones like Magnus Carlsen, then you get ones like Dario Nardi, then you get ones like Mark Zuckerberg. They're very varying. A lot of times I think people don't understand
It's
is
a
that
wide spectrum.
it's all about the vision and whatever
Yeah.
it takes to be to bring that vision to reality is the person that you will see, right? That's who that person will become, so like
Yeah.
you'll see like someone like Arnold Jack, very good with people, outgoing, and that's because his vision required him to be that way, right? That's one of the things I think people misunderstand about INTJs. It's all about what the vision requires of them. Some of them have, a vision where they want to be the best writer in the world, right? So generally speaking, they will read a lot of books, and they probably won't get as muscular. And then you got INTJs that want to be the best golfers ever, Tiger Woods, and they're fucking jacked, and so I think that's one of the things that people misinterpret about INTJs is just the uniqueness and the variance between them because it's all dependent on the vision that they have. Um, but yeah,
Yeah,
think
it's very eclectic.
yeah. Any like closing notes you guys want to drop for INTJs, man?
Mm,
I think it's all come from the AFI as well, like the vision like the vision which they will get is just from who they as a person, like their FI, like where they were raised, like which some kind of culture they had, And basically, this F5s they will get this and a vision where they will just get very attached to it because it was very good for them.
Yeah, they get attached to it because of FI. FI makes it kind of like what I said in the video with the hero function. It's like it kind of gets all the other functions to work for it. It's like, okay, like motherfucker, you achieve this vision, you're gonna be super happy. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's got the FI pulled in on the NI. Anything, Czar? Anything you want to say?
I think I'm a bit of a different variant, so like I'm more the more intellectual kind, I would suppose.
Philosophy,
Uh,
philosophy.
philosophically speaking. I
Read.
think that I think for INTJs, like we said, it's a very diverse group of them. And it's all centered around where they want to go, and
Mhm.
I think that's paramount for them, and that's um how they and that's how it manifests. Like it's a wide spectrum,
Mhm.
essentially.
Yeah, yeah. Well, guys, this was a great breakdown of the INTJs. I hope you guys learned something from this. It's great to see David, who's a three, and Zara, who's a five, and they're different perspectives. One's more for philosophy, and one's more like practical, like wants to be some type of dictator.
I won't say I won't say that Napoleon was dictator, by the way. Like he had more like
He's the
liberal.
emperor, bro. What is he? A dictator? Get the fuck
By
out
the
of
way,
here.
bro, it's not true because when he was declared as emperor, he actually said, "Hey, I will become emperor only if people will vote for me." Like he gives us allowance, and only then he get 99%.
Oh yeah, he
Bro,
really
it's not
he
a
really
lie.
that's the funny thing is like, bro, motherfucking sneaky fucking NTJs will make it feel as though that they didn't take the power or whatever, but they
Yeah,
had already took the
they're
power before you even
magnanimous,
noticed it,
Mercer.
bro. Huh?
They're magnanimous. They're
This is,
kind and beneficent.
this is crazy.
But he was a good
Oh,
guy, by the way. Like he was a great guy, of course. Like he get victories, and he like was the best statement in history, of course. Like people will vote for him.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, he brought, I would say, he brought pride back to France. Is what I would say he did.
I think like if you read guys maybe like Will Duran or Deutsch, like they both said the most important event in history was French Revolution.
Hmm.
Because it's like like sync with enlightenment, which was means that technologies are allowed to criticize. Like for example, if we will like have the argue, like no one can say, hey, like because of like religion or because of laws, you are not allowed to criticize like laws, like these technologies. And because of that, people like Voltaire, like Jacques Rousseau, they were allowed to get people like with new ideas how to think that everyone can create technologies can criticize this because the only way we can get progress if technologies will be created like how to solve problems like even with MDT is all about how to create like solve problems of like people hey how to understand this guy why he's being like why he's behaving like that and how we can help him and he can help us and like when these ideas came out like from Voltaire like most of him the laws of French still didn't put them into the practice. Like everyone is equal, yet everyone has his own poverty. As the revolution started, because people were dissatisfied with the current laws, and the Austria, like Russia, Britannia, they wanted like Middle Age, which basically like aristocracy and also religion power. And become like then came Napoleon who put these ideas of like enlightenment into the practice. And the only way why the wars were is because not because against him, but they wanted to change the government of France to the old one like of Bourbons, like Louis XVIII. So the laws will be changed to the old one of Middle Age. And because he won these 5 wars, these laws were put in the practice and they couldn't be like returned back. And that's why the revolution again started in 1830. And now we have like the best time of our history because progress is a lot because we can create a lot of knowledges.
Yeah, I think you love Napoleon, man. Yeah.
I
Uh,
mean, but it's for these reasons, you know.
yeah, I
Like
mean,
if
he's a
you see,
brilliant
like we will
strategist.
not have MacBooks right now, for example, or like Zoom even.
Yeah, yeah. I studied him. I studied all of them when I was a kid, and my favorite was Genghis Khan. Like you got,
Him?
yeah, man. You gotta be ruthless, man. Put somebody mama in front of the fucking town, man. Like, yeah, motherfucker. Like you gotta be ruthless, man. I think you gotta be ruthless to get what you want in this world. And that's why I love Genghis Khan. And people are probably be like, Mercer, you're crazy, but he's a person of his period, a person of his times, right? You can't be evaluating people based on 2025. You go back to their time and evaluate them based off that. He is
But do
my
you like him more than Napoleon?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Why? Just because
I think it's because first he unified all of the tribes behind him and took
yeah,
those tribes and then just literally took over fucking everything and was literally winning every like never pretty much never fucking lost his
he
entire
didn't have
fucking life.
great
There's
enemies.
no one who's conquered more territory than him. Um, just I mean, he killed a lot of people too, but like there's no one who's was able to do what he was able to do. And starting like with savages, uniting fucking savages and getting them all on one fucking vision. If people are asking, yes, Genghis Khan is an INTJ. Just
Yeah,
look at
Not
his
the INTJ?
He's
yeah.
INTJ. He got
No,
it. I mean, he
he's
united all of
INTJ.
those tribes on one vision, right? ENTJs generally will get inside of a system that already exists, and then they get their NI insights.
Yeah.
Right? While INTJs have the vision first, right? And then they get everybody on the same vision. Like you'll see those coaches. We got to get everybody on the same page. That's what those like Bill Belichick or Nick
Yeah.
Saban. It's got to get everybody on the same page. Everybody on the same vision here.
He has an estimated 16 million male descendants living today, with 0.5% of the world's population.
I mean, you can't really beat that. I mean, Napoleon at the end of his days was sent to a fucking island.
Like,
Yeah,
if we were
but
to measure this on Darwinian terms, it's a landslide.
It's a landslide.
I'm sorry. I'm just saying, by like a
Don't even get me fucking started on Josephine and how he was simping out for Josephine.
also
Jesus,
it
yeah.
wasn't true. It
Simp.
wasn't true.
it wasn't. She said it wasn't true.
Yeah, like it was very simple. He cheated on him, which is true. But then when he came from Egypt, he just told you like he gave the task to his assistant to make you all like baggages all away. And she was literally crying with your children 3 days, so he will forgive you. And after that, she was loyal, but he wasn't loyal anymore. He was cheating, like he
I
likes
mean, his
cheating
and I
with.
should have seen that she was a slut, bro. Like, bro, what a vision that, bro.
What
You
what
Oh,
never
but
is
see
by the
that.
way,
is
he
he
didn't
is
cheat on her.
Napoleon ENTJ
I think
or
it's
I think he was
ENTJ.
INTJ. I
I
don't
ENTJ?
think
think
it's
so.
ENTJ, but
I think he's
David
INTJ.
thinks it's INTJ. I think it's
I
ENTJ.
think Chinggis Khan was more INTJ because he just with TA he united, but he didn't have some kind of vision. He just united the people with TA, but the what I read his biography, there weren't some kind of a vision where the things are going from. That's why the emperor also falling very quick.
I'd have to look more at him, but I think he's ENTJ. Pretty much, he was in the army and that existing
It's
system.
not
Then
true
from there,
because when he was young, he wanted to come back to Corsica and become a new Caesar and to liberate his Corsica from France when he was 15, 12 years old. That was all his life vision before he became like 24 years old.
yeah. But ENTJs also have NI. I mean, look at Donald Trump, bro. Like,
But he was introvert and he was very idealistic.
I'll look into it, but I think he's ENTJ, but I'll look into it. I mean,
He's one of those. I
he's
haven't
one of
looked
them.
into. I'm not like I haven't
And
really extensively studied Napoleon,
yeah,
but yeah, I now you just made me curious.
like I think generally speaking, when I'm looking at fictional or
Uh-huh.
historic people, I'm looking at the hero function because I
Yeah.
think that's gonna be there regardless. I think that's the best way. I did have an approach that basically just say someone's NTJ and just move on, NTJ, SFP, STP, because it's hard to notice. Like I told a guy, like if you were to take Arnold and we were like never had no videos or anything like that, we would swear that Arnold was ENTJ. They would
You can
swear
see
he
what he
was, but he's
said.
not.
Like, for example, Napoleon vision was to unite the whole Europe and to make France the capital of the whole like world. Like to have one laws, one currency, so that all talented people can do whatever they want, etc. And no like middle-age laws.
Yeah, I mean, look into it, but yeah, Hitler wanted to unite the whole world behind fucking Nazi Germany too. Oh my God. People be like, Mercy be dropping Hitler all the time. Like, yeah, drop Hitler. All right, guys, man. It's a pleasure, man. Thank you guys for coming on.
Yep.
Yeah, guys.
Pleasure to
All
be
right,
on.
all right, boss.